last year, this group's going to be interesting because we lost 7 starters. So that group of kind of core players that were subbing in off the bench are now going to work into our starting roles, but they did have that really valuable experience last year of being on the field for some of the heartbreak and also some of the like, we got away with one there. And I think that's going to serve us really well this year and just help us manage a long season where, like you said, the Northeast 10 is incredibly competitive. We're going to see a lot of tight games. It's the learning curve of you don't have that first 6 or 7 minutes to watch and figure out what's going on and hear me talking about adjustments we're going to make on the field. And then you get in and you're like, okay, I know what to do. You're the one on the field, right? And so when things start to kind of go a different direction than what we thought, you've got to be able to figure that out with that group and take that leadership role. And we try from the sideline to help, but it's a totally different kind of mental preparation and the ability to kind of stay poised because you don't have the luxury of that little bit of time to watch and learn and then step on the field. Yeah, our Mac is an incredible goalkeeper. Our goalkeepers in general, we have Sydney Falter, who's a junior, and she could start on many of these NE10 teams. I believe that 100%. And we have a freshman, also Mac, who's come in really strong. So I think the thing we keep talking to our starting goalie, right, Mac, about is the defense is new, right? They have experience, but they're not starters. And so we all have to just really communicate and work together and kind of pay attention to the small details, the fundamentals, to make sure that we're kind of moving in that linear direction and not skipping over things because it's just a bit of a new start. But having her back there and know all of the things we do allows us to focus more on the defensive players and just jump right in. Yeah. Ironically, I think on paper coming into this year, you know, it's like, wow, losing that back 4 is so tough. They've started for 4+ years. That group has come in and just owned their new position. I feel so good about that group. They're playing incredibly strong. They're so talented. So I'm so excited to see what they can do, knowing that other teams know that, oh, they finally lost their defense, but I think they're ready to go. So I'm really happy to see what they do. So we have 2 returning forwards. We have some younger experience coming in. And I think what they took from that is Maggie was the beneficiary of a lot of unselfish play, with Maddie kind of setting the program record in assists, a lot of them going to Maggie. And her whole thing was team first. And I think that forward line will step right into that same mold. And I'm excited to see a lot of different names called on the forward line to score some goals this year. But when I got here and I got a couple of years under my belt and I started seeing how quickly we could take these leaps to be competitive and the type of student athlete we could get in here who I really enjoyed being around, I kind of looked around and was like, why would I go anywhere else right now? And I think the program, right, those players have created such a legacy and kind of a culture. And culture changes every year, but just this reputation of this is how we do things here, right? We grow together, we fail together, we achieve together, that when we get recruits on campus, I think we keep finding the right fit. But I just know that I love being here, I love coaching here, and I think the players are incredible, and they've kind of done what they've needed to do to be successful and put this school on the map. What's important to us is that we as a group find a way to reach our potential, right? I don't think we even know what that is yet, but we try to not look so far ahead, and we say, like, what are we capable of? How did we look last week in our first scrimmage opposed to yesterday? And are we actually making these leaps and learning these lessons? And it will take care of itself. Does that always mean championships? No. But it's always the goal. If we're putting in the work and reaching our potential, we have the talent to get there. So we'll see. It's a long season, and we start with a pretty challenging opening weekend, like we did last year, but we're excited for the challenge. Yeah, I'm thrilled that we're hosting. I can't wait to I don't think it's been, last time I said it was in the Northeast 10 was Stonehill 2016. I don't know that it's been north of Stonehill. New Hampshire has such a rich field hockey culture, and I think it's going to be exciting for players in the state of New Hampshire to be able to just come here and see this level of play. All I'm going to say about, right, the Final Four is I'm never going to count us out, right? We're not looking at it, but I'm absolutely never going to count us out.